Hey guys, welcome back to Actually Adultish, your favorite podcast ever. My name is Christina. I'm your host for tonight or I guess today, this morning, whatever time we're listening to this. It's 9:30 on a Tuesday night right now. And I'm still back in the Bay Area. I'm on winter break. Nina is in San Diego right now, but I have a guest with me. But first of all, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed so far. It means so much to us. If you haven't already, you should definitely subscribe on iTunes and or Stitcher. And if you haven't left a rating and review, please do so. And also, you should follow us on Instagram. Our handle's Actually Adultish. We post some great things on there. It's exciting. And if you have a topic you want us to talk about, or if you have a comment, you want to say hi, head on over to our website, actuallyadultish.com, and send us a little note. Or you can email us at actuallyadultish@gmail.com, whichever. So yeah, today I have a guest with me, my friend Ella.
Hi.
Hi, Ella.
I'm so excited.
Ella likes to listen to our podcast, so I wanted to have her on. And we met
so long ago.
In high school.
Yeah. We had Spanish 2 together.
Yeah. Did we met in Spanish first or through volleyball first?
Through volleyball.
Okay,
but
yeah.
We weren't friends until Spanish.
Okay, yeah. We became friends because of Spanish class. Yeah, but we did volleyball together.
You were like the only one that could conjugate preferir.
Preferir.
Throwback.
Oh my God. So many good memories in Spanish.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Turkis, he would sand down surfboards.
Oh yeah, we had this he was such an interesting person. Yeah. He was really cool.
Oh my gosh,
I'll never forget him.
He wore these shoes that they were so flat, and he looked like a little penguin walking around.
Oh my God, and his bow ties. He's like probably he was like so interesting. He's like one of the smartest people for sure ever. Totally. He's so smart, but he was a character.
He was just teaching Spanish.
And he used to teach us chants so that we would remember, like, what were the chants? Do you remember? It was like...
Yes. What were they?
I don't even remember what they were. I just remember like
we would chant them over.
We would just do chants over and over so we knew how to conjugate verbs and stuff. And oh my God, why can't I remember them?
I'm so weak.
But yeah, we were pretty good at Spanish. And then we had volleyball.
We killed Spanish.
Yeah, we killed it at Spanish. Yeah. And then we had volleyball. And volleyball was just always a drama fest every year.
Oh my gosh, Leland.
Oh my God. We had this psychotic volleyball coach freshman. It was sophomore year. Well, my sophomore year. Ella's a year younger than me. But like I didn't even understand what he was saying. He was like
he made no sense.
He made no sense, and he made
would bring us chow mein.
Yeah.
Weird pink drinks in water bottles.
He would yell at us and his dentures would fall out. Remember when he'd yell at us, he'd have to put his hand underneath his mouth so that when his teeth fell out, he could catch them. Yeah, he would spit on us. And then he was actually abusive. Remember?
Yeah.
When were you there when I don't remember if it was when you were there or if it was the year before, but he would make us do bear crawls when it was like 105 degrees and our hands would be bleeding on the track. He would make us do bear crawls on the track in front of all the football players. And at the time, that was just like the most horrifying thing in the world. And then he would like make these like really sexual comments when we were stretching and stuff. What did he say?
We were playing Notre Dame. And he's like, "You girls seem to be the sexiest bitches on the court."
Oh yeah, and we're like, "What are you talking about?" And we brought like I don't even know. All the parents didn't all the parents like go into a room and like talk to the head coach?
We complained.
Yeah.
We at some point like the principal had a therapist coming to speak to all of us.
Oh my God. Crazy. There was so much drama.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my volleyball days are behind me, honestly. Yeah. But I do miss it sometimes. Like, I miss, like, you make the best, like,
friends
sports. Like, yeah. I feel like I mean, I only played volleyball. I don't know. But I feel like just sports in general, you make this, like, bond because you're literally, like, living. You're basically living. You're spending 24/7 with these people. Yeah. Like,
and a coach is spitting on you.
Yeah. Yeah. You just all, oh my
Waking
God.
up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Driving to Fresno or something.
Oh my God. No, and Ella like lives kind of close to me, so we would carpool
Yeah.
and I'd drive her and we would like have
Everywhere.
deep life talks on our 5-minute drive home. And
Oh
like
my God.
we would go we used
You
to
were like my coach.
yeah,
Coach.
we used to go to didn't I used to take you to McDonald's?
Yeah.
That was my favorite place.
McFlurries.
That was before I was healthy.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with
I
McDonald's.
remember that. That's so funny.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that was your thing.
Yeah, good times.
That was the best.
But
Yeah.
yeah. And
Our
then
little drives. I always picture you in your car, like, just like talking, just like.
yeah.
You were always like super elevated because you had one of those like super nice hybrid SUVs.
It's definitely not a hybrid. I wish.
You just looked like so fancy, just like like on your car, just like whipping around.
You can hold the mic if you want. If it's easier to take it out. Do you want to take it out of that? Yeah. If that's easier.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really funny. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. High school was weird.
Yeah.
And then we went to college, and Ella, why don't you tell our listeners where you go?
I go to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, California. I'm a graphic communication major with a concentration in management. And I'm in my 3rd year. I have another year after this. And
Congrats.
yeah, right?
Are you excited to graduate?
Yes, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, done. So done. It's a bubble.
Yeah.
Christina has 1 more quarter, so I'm super, super jealous about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come visit you when I graduate.
Oh my gosh, please.
Swoop you away.
Please.
But
just be done with it all.
yeah.
I just want to throw like it all away sometimes.
I know.
Just like give it all up.
I mean, I think it's all these people who are like, okay, there's a group of people who are like, high school is the best time of your life.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
And then I'm like, okay, that's really sad. Get over yourself. If high school is the best time, if high school are your glory days, then you know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
You keep those glory days. That's
Totally.
fine. I don't want them. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm sorry that your life is never
have
getting
those
better.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have those days. But then there's people who are like, college is the best time of your life, and I'm like, are you for real?
Right.
Like who? Like
People who peaked in college.
Are people serious? Like,
no, they're serious. It's hilarious.
this is the
They're
thing, though.
serious.
No. But I genuinely have never met everybody who I talk to. Like this, it's like a hidden secret. I feel like everybody when you talk in like groups, like, oh my god, yeah, I love college. I'm having so much fun. And like you go home freshman and sophomore year from breaks, and everyone's like, yeah, it's so fun. Like I have all these friends, blah blah blah. And then you talk to people one on one, or like you get like a little bit later into their experience and everyone's like, I actually hate this. I've actually just been pretending that I'm having the best time ever. I have no friends. I'm miserable. I want to come home. I hate it. I was just pretending like I loved it. Like,
yes. All
like,
of it.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody.
And you feel judged if you're not having fun.
Yeah, you do.
Everyone's making it look like they're having fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And I remember when I first came home, like on a break, I was like, I hate it. Like I don't like college. And everybody would like look at me like I was a psycho. Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I know I'm not the only person.
Yeah.
You guys are all just liars because you don't want to admit it. Okay, we had to take a quick break for a second because we were hungry, and I'm not eating on the podcast anymore because everybody got really mad that I was eating on the podcast. But during that brief interruption,
oh my god,
it has come to my attention that people, okay, Ella didn't know, okay, we stopped and we're eating my cake that I made for Christmas, and Ella was like, where'd you get this recipe? And I was like, what do you mean, where did I get it? I made it up. And she's like, what? And she thought that she didn't know that all of my recipes that I post and that I make are my own.
Now I do.
Yeah, now you better know.
No, that's what I've been saying is people don't give you enough credit for your entire career.
I'm like really confused. Like, is that what like people who don't know anything about blogging think that bloggers just like post other people's recipes. Like,
I mean,
no, you can't you like can't post a recipe if it's like not your own, unless you're like, this is not legally my recipe.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even like, I guess somebody could come after you legally, but like you just like don't do, like I couldn't just like take someone's recipe and be like, oh, this is a recipe.
I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, you post so many that
I'm cooking my ass off over here.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Oh
like
my
it
God.
doesn't seem like, because you're doing it so like fast and effortlessly. You're keeping up. That
it's not effortless. Okay.
Okay. It
guys,
looks. It does. Okay.
Just to clear up any confusion in case any of you are like Ella, anything that I post is my own recipe, unless I blatantly am like, guys, I made this recipe from blah 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 blah
Blah blah.
which I don't think I've done yet, but I'm sure someday I will. Like, but
I'm
not gonna post a recipe if it's not my own. That's like illegal. Oh my God,
it's so good. Oh my gosh, you made eggnog
spice cake, yeah, and
So
cinnamon roll
amazing.
cake.
Yeah, we're not eating it on the podcast.
No, we're not.
Be polite.
You can if you want. Just move the microphone so people don't get mad. Okay, but we'll pick up what we're talking about.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that brief interruption. Yeah, so the dorms are annoying because you don't get your own space, and there's nowhere to like hide that's safe. I feel like,
You're in a bunk bed.
Yeah, bunk bed. I hate bunk beds.
You're living in a closet. Need I say more?
You're living in a cupboard under the stairs. Like Harry Potter.
Well, I'm going to Harry Potter World.
You are?
This week, yeah. You've been, right?
Wait, which one?
The one in Universal in LA.
No, I haven't been to that one. I've been to the one in Florida. You are?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, when? What day?
The 1st of January.
Wait, on Sunday?
Yeah, actually the 2nd of January. We're flying down the 1st.
Oh my God, I should like pop over and
Can
join
you
you.
please come? Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Yeah.
am I allowed to?
Yes. Wait, can you please?
Wait,
oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in LA. Okay, wait.
Okay,
we'll make
okay.
this. Okay, we'll figure this out
This
after.
is- yes.
Okay, back to. Yeah, so dorms suck because
Back to the cupboard.
yeah,
under
like
the
being in the
stairs.
cupboard. It's just like it's really hard because you have no space. Like in high school, I could retreat to my room, close my door,
Yeah.
and like be like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah.
In college, I have nowhere to retreat. Like I would have to go to a public place, but then I wouldn't really still feel alone.
Yeah.
You know?
No, totally. You
Like-
can't hide.
Yeah, and I guess some people that's not a big deal if you're not. Some people, like I'm the kind of person that recharges by being alone. You know,
Yeah.
like I need my space. And
I am too.
Yeah, and so I think
Netflix time.
yeah, it's hard for people like us. Some people just love to be around people all the time and don't like to be alone, and so
Yeah.
it's like easier for them when they're just like always.
I can't imagine that, honestly.
I can't imagine that
can't.
either.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really hard.
You must
But
have a lot of friends.
yeah, I know. I don't have that many friends.
Me neither.
Okay, well, basically, so why, well, not the only reason, but what I wanted to mainly talk about this episode with Ella while I have her here is something that we've both done, and it's taking a quarter off from college. And it's a very interesting experience.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both took quarters off for different reasons, but we both experienced, I don't know, what's the word? Okay.
Drama.
Yeah. People judge you for taking time off. I think we all go, and it's like kind of the same with like majors and careers. It's just like all these expectations, and people like don't expect you to take time off of college. Like it's like you need a reason to take time off.
Yes.
You know, it's like what people are telling you. Like you need a legitimate excuse. Like there has to be a reason.
You
why.
need a plan for everything.
Like you need there has to be a reason for why you took a time off, and there has to be a plan for how you're gonna get back on track. And
it can't be too personal.
Yeah.
And it has to make sense.
And it's just like that stigma was like why it was so hard, like for me
To take one.
for me
Yeah.
taking a quarter off was like the hardest decision of my life. I felt like it was life or death. Like
Yeah.
it was just seemed like, looking back, I'm like, wow, that wasn't not
Yeah.
a big deal. Like I'm still graduating early, like, and it ended up being the best thing ever, like for me.
Totally.
But at the time I was like, if this is my mindset, it sounds so stupid now. I was like, if I take a quarter off, I'm a failure.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember talking to you about that. Yeah. Because you're always busy, and you finally had time to sit back.
Yeah.
And just focus on.
I just felt like I felt like there's no reason for me to take time off.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
I thought the same thing.
I don't have an excuse.
Yeah. No, totally.
And even though everybody around me was begging me to take time, it wasn't like there was anybody in my ear being like, saying you shouldn't. Okay. It wasn't like it was that. It was the opposite. Everybody was like, please take this quarter off. I really want you to take, like, you need to take care of yourself. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, I can't. I don't have an excuse. Like,
yeah. You don't need an excuse. Yeah. I think that's our main point.
Yeah.
You're allowed to figure out what you want to do, and you don't need to explain it to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, people do want to know why you're taking time off.
People are going to want to know. Okay. Maybe we should talk about... Okay. We should, like, break this up. So, first, let's talk about, like, reaching the point of saying... like the decision, okay, taking the quarter off. And then after that, we'll talk about what it was like to actually take the quarter off. And then we'll talk about like looking back, you know, like what you do next when you're going back to school.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So Ella, do you want to like explain how you ended up taking a quarter off?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really have a choice. I was sent back home. But it was honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. I remember at the time I felt super trapped, living at home with my parents, my little brother, and working and not worrying about homework or tests or stress. And it didn't feel right. And it felt like a waste of time at the time. But honestly, I was working this sales job at Nordstrom, and it was not the best time. Retail is awful. People treat you terribly, so bad. People are just so rude. But I got super into sales and management, and I started taking more business classes, and I would seriously have no idea I wanted to do that if I hadn't taken some time off. So it really was the best for me. And I got reconnected with my family, people at home. Yeah. And I just feel... like the Bay is my home now after spending some time here. Yeah. Like, this is my home.
Did you worry about running into people?
Yeah, and explaining and having to explain why you were here all the time. Yeah. All the time. People's parents, I run into them.
Yeah, I feel like it's worse to run into parents than it is to run into like the people people our age.
Oh, it's so much worse. Oh my gosh. They're the ones that really want an explanation. Your peers, they'll judge you. Your peers honestly don't really care why you're home.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't know. It's just like no explanation is good enough. Really. But it's like the thing is, like, we don't owe anybody an explanation. Like, I'm not in school right now because I don't want to be in school right now. Like, you know, and like.
I wish I had known that at the time. I always felt like I had to explain myself. Always. Always.
Yeah. And I would just say, okay, I'll explain what happened with me. So I basically got super, super sick, which, I mean, if you know me or follow my blog, know my story at all, like, basically my stomach stopped digesting food and I was just losing uncontrollable amounts of weight, and I couldn't gain it back, and I was just getting so thin, and like my doctors thought I was gonna die, and I thought I was gonna die, and I was really scared, and I just felt like it was just kind of like one of those things where I was living my life, and no matter what, the reason my family was like, you need to take time off, because I was so weak, because I was just so thin. I was so thin and so sick, and I was so weak.
I remember that.
And they were just like, you need to just take a quarter off. And
you also, were in so much pain.
Yeah. And the other thing was, like, I was going to doctor's appointments. Like, we both took off a fall quarter, so we were coming off of like a summer. So all summer, like, I was going to doctor's appointments like it was my job. Like, I was at different doctors from Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. I was just at different doctor's offices. Like it was like a full-time job for me. And I remember I was really stressed out because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to fit in my appointments with, just because I was doing so much testing and seeing so many different specialists, and like nobody could figure out what was wrong. Like and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do school and my doctor's appointments. Like I just don't have time. And I was stressed out, and my family was just like, you need to just take the quarter off, just focus on your health. But I just felt, the reason why I felt like I couldn't do that was because I was like, what is the point? Like, what is sitting at home how is that going to help me versus like sitting at home and studying?
No,
do you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't make sense.
I was like, I don't really have a point. Like if I drop out of school, in my free time, I'll do things like I would be blogging or like doing things that I liked, like reading a regular book, or like watching a show. And I'm like, well, that seems really unproductive when I could still just be sitting on my bed doing homework instead. Either way, I'm going to be sitting on my bed. Yeah. That was what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah, the logic.
Yeah. And I was just like, I just don't really understand how it's going to help me to take a quarter off besides set me back a quarter. And I was also so insistent because I just hate college so much. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, wow, if I take a quarter off right now, that's one more quarter I have to stay in longer. Yeah. Like,
that went through my head too. Yeah. Still does.
Yeah. And like, I was just so much resistance. And it wasn't until my parents would call me crying, being like, please just take the quarter off. My sister would tell me, my friends would be like, Christina, it's fine. Like, yeah. And it was just a stigma. Like I've always been, I mean, you have this too, like always been like the smart one, always been like getting good grades. Yeah. Like everyone expects a lot. Like they just expect that. Yeah. Little Miss Perfect, and obviously not perfect, but like people like to put that label, and that puts pressure on you. You feel like you have to live up to it. You feel like you can't mess up. And I'm just like, and I remember thinking like, and I'm not the kind of person who really cares that much about what people think, but obviously I'm human, so I do. Like everybody, if anybody who says they don't care at all, lying. Like, they're lying. But like generally I don't really worry about it. But in that moment it also made me uncomfortable because that made me realize how much I did care about. I was like, I feel like people are going to think that I'm just a failure if I drop out.
Yeah, totally.
Like, and my parents like, no, they won't. Like, no one's gonna, it's not a big deal. People take time off all the time.
That's what would go through my head when I would run into these moms in the supermarket. Like, oh, this mom thinks I'm just dropping out of school. Yeah. Because I'm not explaining anything to her. So that's what she thinks. When really I didn't owe her an explanation. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so fucked up. It's like, why do we care what these random ass moms think?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I did at the time. Yeah. Who knows why?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I care, but I'm still can't even figure out. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't even see your kid. Like, Yeah. Like, exactly. Everybody whose opinion really matters to me was telling me, please take time off. Like, like, and I wasn't listening to that. All I was worried about was the people's opinions who don't matter to me. People whose opinions, people who I don't talk to, who I'm not close to. You know, like, and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, that was just so ridiculous. I don't give a shit what Sally's mom from 6th grade thinks about me. Like, meanwhile, Sally's over there like failing her classes, and I have a fucking 4.0 at UCLA. Totally. So fuck you.
Fuck you, Sally.
Fuck you, Sally. No, but like, it's just really, and in the end, and then I was looking for like, it was like I was looking for permission. Like, I would ask all my friends, like, do you know anybody who took a quarter off? Like, I would ask so many people, and they'd be like, oh yeah, my friend. And I'd be like, why? And I'd be like, why? Yeah. And a lot of people, I remember my cousin told me, she's like, oh, my friend just took a quarter off because she needed to like work full time to save some extra money, and then she just went back. And I was like, and I think in my head, oh, well, I have like a health excuse. Like, I was trying to give myself an excuse. And like, I asked my other friend, and she's like, oh yeah, my friend took a quarter off. I'm like, why? And she's like, she just like wasn't really happy. So she just wanted to like kind of reset. She's went home and I was like, and I would be like, well, if that girl can do it, like, I should be allowed to do it
as if we need an excuse, right? Like, and now we know we don't.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, I still didn't do it. I still didn't do it off of my own, just like, I'm okay with it. I did it because my therapist was like, I literally will not allow you to go to school.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what my parents were saying.
Yeah.
Cut off paying for school. So it's like, okay, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Quarter off it is.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who, like, I can't make decisions and I need somebody. I'm not going to make a decision like that. I need somebody to, like,
to do that,
to make it for me.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, because then I can rationalize it in my head and be like, oh, well, my doctor said I'm not allowed to. Like, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Even though I could have, even though my doctor said but I use that as like, okay, I can't. You know, and I literally had, my therapist said that, and then I asked all my other doctors, and I had 6 doctors all tell me, I'm not allowing you to go to school this quarter. It's too stressful for you.
Yeah.
It's too stressful. And I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So then we reached the point where we're not in school. So maybe we can talk about, I mean, you touched on it a little bit. So so Ella went home. Well, Ella went back to the Bay Area, and I stayed in LA. My parents wanted me to come home, but like all of my doctors were in LA. I also really don't like being home. I like LA way better.
Yeah.
But all my doctors were in LA, and I'm like, well, if I go home, then that's kind of pointless, because then I'm not actually taking care of my health, you know? Like,
no, you had to be in LA.
Yeah. So you got a job.
Yeah.
Was that when you got the job at Nordstrom?
When
when you came home? Or had you already had it before?
No, it was when I came home. Okay. I'm working there right now, actually. I just got done with that. Woo. Yeah. But yeah, I was working when I came home, and everything just clicked into place for me. I had something to do that I actually liked. I mean, I was happy at school, but I wasn't sure if what I was doing with my major was the right thing. And suddenly what I was doing every day made sense. And that was enough for me, that taking that quarter off was worth it for that reason, because things were suddenly making sense. And I could justify what I was doing with myself, and it was okay.
How long did it take you to reach that point where you're like, okay, no, this was the right thing to do?
A long time. Okay, honestly, it took after I'd moved back to school for me to realize, because I was so mad about my parents making me take a quarter off and whatever, that I just was so bitter about it for that whole time. Okay, maybe not the whole time, but I didn't realize how great it was until like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before I was going back.
Yeah, like shit.
Yeah.
Like, should have been taking advantage of that.
Exactly. I was like, wow, this was great. But no, I know it took me a while, because I mean, the benefits of it didn't pay off for a while. Like, I mean, my health and my sanity are just so much better. And I'm just really, really happy. Also, it made me realize I have such great people in my life that actually care about me and want me and encourage me to do stuff like that. And, you know, spend their time focusing on me and what's best for me. So, yeah.
Did you feel like you were missing out at all?
Yes, I did. Well, okay, it's funny you bring that up, because taking that quarter off, I just completely focus on myself now. Like I do not care what anyone else is doing. Yeah. Which sounds, I mean, I care what my friends are doing, but I really, as long as I'm doing what I want to be, I'm just so in the moment with myself that nothing else matters. And that's one of the positives that came out of this whole quarter off thing, is that I'm just so happy to just be with myself all the time. Yeah.
The same thing happened to me too. I feel like I'm so much more really just focused on myself.
That you don't even care.
It's weird. Yeah. Like that quarter changed me so much. It changed me so much.
Yeah.
And
you don't realize it at the time though. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't realize it. What did you do about social media?
Social media. I was like so confused what to do. I was like, should I hide what's going on, or should I not? Like, I don't know. I was just not doing anything with it, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm here at home. I'm not hiding anything. So, yeah, I was on Snapchat at home, on Instagram at home. So yeah.
Did it help you? Like, I don't know. I tried to just stay off.
Yeah.
I tried to just stay off.
Totally.
But I guess everybody else was on.
That's so true. Christina, where you been?
Yeah, everybody was
what you doing?
really concerned about me. Not asking me, but apparently asking other people like Ella what was happening to me.
Oh.
I was honestly like,
yeah,
I was like, okay, I was just so in my own world that honestly I wasn't even thinking about like, I really wasn't thinking about like what other people were thinking.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Yeah.
Like I was just so into what was going on with myself.
Because I remember when I was talking to you about that.
Yeah.
And you were just like, wait, really? Like that's.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, so I guess everybody was talking about like what was wrong with me. Like from high school and stuff. And I was honestly just like shocked because I thought that everybody just like forgot about me. And like, I didn't realize that anyone was paying attention to me because I wasn't on social media. And like, I hadn't really, once I went to college, I like kind of stopped talking to everybody from middle school and high school. Like,
Same.
And so I just was like, okay, no one's paying attention. Like, and then I was just shocked to find out that all these people who I'd never even talked to in my life were like sending pictures of me around and asking each other.
That's so hard to hear.
Yeah. And what bothered me more was just like the people that I was really close to in high school who I found out like it was one thing where I just thought that nobody knew. I just thought that nobody knew what was going on with me. But then the moment I heard that like these people were like asking other people and I'm like, well, that fucking hurts my feelings because
they're not even reaching out.
Why would you not reach out to me?
Yeah, totally.
Like I felt so alone during that time. Like pretty much most of my friends cut me off except for probably there's 3 people at school who were talking to me. I had 3 friends. I had like limited communication with my family. And so I felt very isolated. Like I was really just talking to my doctors and my friends, but I had 3 friends, but one of those friends was in Spain abroad.
Oh yeah.
And so she was like not easily
reachable. Yeah. Yeah.
And the other one worked full time and the other one was like in summer. I don't know. Like I just was, and so it really pissed me off that all these people I found out were just like spreading rumors about me and asking questions, and so like very clear that there's something wrong with me, but not asking me.
Yeah, totally.
And I wrote a whole article about it. I wrote it on her campus because like I knew it would get a lot of attention. I was hoping it would because I wanted people to read it, and it was like in the top 10 national articles on her campus for a while, and like it was on the national page, and
that's awesome.
I got so many people texting me and emailing, like messaging me after that, and it was really, really nice, and it meant a lot to me that people were doing that. But the people there was like honestly a few people I wrote that targeting, like because it was like people who I had been previously very, very close with who never talked to me and I knew were spreading rumors about me. If this isn't clear, everybody was basically running around telling each other that I was anorexic, and I don't think anorexia is anything to be ashamed of, but I didn't have anorexia, and I don't like when people are telling each other. I don't like when people are saying that I have something that I don't have, you know?
Yeah.
Like if I had it, then I would have.
Fuck that.
I'm a very open person, and I would be like, yeah, I struggle with anorexia, but that wasn't the issue at all. And so it really pissed me off that people were just like saying this without talking to me, because I'm like, whoa, no, that's not what's wrong.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask me what's wrong and I'll tell you what's wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, that pissed me off.
I had a good friend completely bail on our friendship too.
Yeah.
When all this was going down. And then, like a couple months ago, text me, and this is super cliche, but it was honestly like, where were you when I needed you? Like that Justin Bieber song.
You can't just pop in right now.
Yeah, you can't just decide to.
Yeah, where's Justin Bieber?
Where is Justin Bieber? Like, oh hey, what's up? Like, other stuff happened. Like, earlier.
You can't just like. I feel like people just want to glaze over the hard parts of life,
totally.
and I'm like, no, if you weren't there for me when I needed you, then like I don't want you here now when everything's fine.
Yeah. No, for real.
Don't expect any favors from me.
Don't expect anything.
Yeah,
it's so weird though. It's so weird how people just expect you to forget or just overlook that. Well, I mean, especially when you're going through as hard of a time as we were.
Yeah,
it's so easy to remember who was there and who wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like that changed my perspective on so many people.
Yeah,
so
me too.
many people.
Yeah,
and I'm glad because I found out who my real friends were.
Same. I'm so glad.
What was funny was though, like I wrote that article and like people were messaging me who like, I'm sorry, I honestly like, I felt like they would like people would be like, I just want to text you and tell you I'm so sorry. I read your article. And I should have reached out to you, and I admit I was one of the people who was telling people that you're anorexic and I shouldn't have done that and blah blah blah. And I was like, thank you for apologizing. Like, that means so much to me. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I appreciate you saying that. Like, and like but the people who did apologize to me weren't the people that I was like upset with. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that I was really upset with just like didn't acknowledge it. Yeah. One person acknowledged it, but like barely. Yeah. They were just like, that person didn't even like really apologize. They were just like, I saw your article and I don't really know what to say. That's literally what she said. I was like, yeah, obviously you don't know what to say. You've been fucking silent for 5 months.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly you have nothing to say. So.
But yeah, it was also really weird for me. It was really weird for me because I was still in school, and oh my God, sorry, I just got an email. Did you see that I took that food intolerance test? No. I took a pinner. Have you seen what a pinner test is? No. Okay, if you guys haven't seen it, they're all over social media if you follow any health bloggers, but the pinner test, this is like a total tangent. The pinner test is like a food intolerance test. Yeah. And so you just like prick your finger and then they'll send you a list of like hundreds of foods that you could be intolerant to. And I wanted to take it because this is like commercially available to anybody. Yeah. And I've taken like a legitimate one through a doctor, like, $1,000 test. Like I've done it for real. And so I want to see if this thing is legit or not. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, want to compare my results, and I've been like waiting and they're supposed to come yesterday. I can't do it right now. I'm not emotionally prepared. After we can check after. Okay, cool. So yeah, sorry, I just got really excited because I was pissed because they were supposed to come yesterday and they didn't. I was like, fuck, they got lost. Like, yeah, and they're just, I don't know why they're emailing me at fucking 10:42 at night, but whatever. Okay, back to the thing. Yeah, so I was still at school and it was like really awkward for me to like be there when everybody else was in midterms and finals and like studying and in class and in school mode. Yeah. And I was just trying to like chill, and I felt so awkward and like so guilty. Yes, guilty. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. And it was also like weird because it was like, I was like, wow, I have free time for the first time ever. Like, guys, can we go out? Can we not like go out? I don't say that. I don't go out. I like go to get ice cream and like be a grandma, like go out, like get some tea, like that's what I mean. Your tea collection. My tea collection is bomb, so great. But and everybody like, I can't, I have midterms, like and I was like, shit, I was there and I was like surrounded by people, but like still very alone because everybody was like at the library. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. And then I just felt guilty because I literally had I had free time. Yeah. That was the only time in my life I had free time. Yeah. Like that was the only, now that I think about it, that's the only time in my life I've ever had free time. Those 10 weeks. Yeah. And like it was at night after my doctor's appointments and I just felt guilty. Yeah. And I also had extra free time because I wasn't allowed to do any exercise. And I was just feeling like, what do I do? Yeah. Like,
with all this energy. Yeah, like literally, like, what do I do? Like, I was just supposed to be sitting on my bed. And I just felt guilty. And I would call my friends and try and talk to my friend who was in Spain about this. Like, she was really, really helpful and supportive. And
she would be like, Christina, it's fine. Why don't you just sit there? Why don't you blog? Like, you're allowed to take an hour to blog. Like, why don't you sit there and watch a show? Like, you're allowed to. And I'm like, I can't just sit there and like watch. I was like, what is that? Like, the only time I watch TV is when I'm eating. That's like my only free, you know. It was bizarre. It was bizarre.
That's why you don't watch any like shows.
I don't have time. The only time I watch stuff is when I eat. But I don't know. And then I tried to get a job and they wouldn't let me get a job. I was desperate to get a job. I was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna go stir crazy. Like, you're lucky you got to have a job. I was like, I really, really wanted to get a job and they wouldn't let me. But it was awkward. And then also, okay, so at the time I was also running Her Campus for UCLA, which is an online magazine. And so I was still like involved in clubs at school. So I would like go on campus and like it was really awkward because people didn't know I didn't have class, you know?
Once again, trying to explain.
And like, I don't know. For me, also, I guess like the other thing for me was like it was so obvious the way I looked. You know, like I didn't like to like leave because everyone would look at me because I was so skinny and like I looked really sick and like you could tell this was the difference. I think that people probably were like, why aren't you in school? People didn't ask me why.
That's definitely the difference.
Like they didn't. It was like this awkward elephant in the room and I was just like, just ask me. This is what I just wanted to scream, just ask me so I can tell you. I wanted to tell people. But nobody, I would be like, oh, I'm not in school right now. And they'd just be like, oh. And they'd look at me like.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I know why. And I'm like, no, you actually don't know why.
You actually don't. No.
So like, what did you say to people? Like, what if I'm a mom and be like, oh, what are you doing home?
Oh man.
Is that what they would say to you? What are you doing home? What would they say to you?
I mean, the best example was it was Halloween weekend and I was home and my street is super popular on Halloween and
your street's crazy.
It's nuts.
That was like our favorite street to go in high school.
I love it. It's like my favorite holiday at home. Like it seriously is. I love Halloween because of that street. And so my parents have a party every year and you know like all their friends were over and I was home for this party and people are like, oh, why are you home? And it was great that was Halloween. I was like, oh, I'm just here to be with my family, hang out on Halloween. And even when I had a reason, I was still judged for it. They were just like, oh, okay. As if like it's not normal for me to come home and spend some time with my family, which I do all the time. But when people did, like when I would run into people at Safeway or Starbucks or whatever, I just what I just said was I'm taking a quarter off. Kept it at that, which was fine.
Would people like press you for more information? Or were people pretty like...
What? They would press me in the form of silence. Like their silence like pressured me to say more. If that makes any sense. Just like their stares.
Did they give you that look? Like judgy look?
Yeah, totally. The look. And just kind of like, okay, but what does that really mean? Kind of thing. And sometimes I would say more. And then by the end of it, I just learned to cut it short. Just be done with it.
It's just like, why... do people judge us for that? Like, why do we need a reason? Why does anyone care? Like, why do we feel guilty? Like,
I don't know.
What is the big deal? Like, in the scheme of life, like, wow, 10 weeks, I took a break. Whatever. And we're both going to graduate on time. I'm graduating early. Like, it wasn't like I couldn't afford it. Like, but it's just like it's just like not just... This is with so many things in life. It's just like our society has this ingrained like what we should do. And then we just feel so guilty when we don't follow that. And it's just bullshit.
Also, no one will say that they're taking a break or no one is like waving a sign that's saying I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And so you feel completely alone. Like you're the only one doing it. When I'm sure there was some of my friends that were taking a break. But also, you don't want to reach out. You don't want to admit that you're taking a break because, again, you don't know that it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. You like trying to hide it. You want to like fly under the radar because you're like, I don't want to deal with what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
Like,
And then it becomes all about them.
Yeah.
You're like, great.
People are just so damn nosy.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you care?
Yeah, that's so true.
Like, honestly, why do you care so much?
Why do you care?
Like,
like, I'm not that interesting.
yeah,
like, calm down.
Exactly. And that was the thing with me. Like, when people were literally sending people who I literally have never talked to in my life or sending pictures of me around,
Yeah.
like speculating about why. I'm like, I'm sorry, do you have nothing better to do at school?
Like you're finally famous.
Yeah. Like, I'm just like, wow, is this what I had to do to get some attention? You know, like, but it's just like, but that was what I kept thinking. I was just like, do you really have nothing better to do than like try and like figure out my life when I'm so irrelevant to you? Like, well, it would make more sense if it was somebody who I knew. I've literally never talked to you. Like, there has.
You're from the Bay?
That's pretty pathetic. Yeah, I'm just like, you like live in another state. I don't know you at all. I'm not. It's not like, and I'm not like. It's not like either of us are like really active on social media. It's not like we're like, you know, some people are like, like pretty like all over social media, so we're both pretty like
low-key,
non-existent, like, just like popping in here and there, like to like things, like
what's up.
Yeah, like I make my yearly Facebook hello, everybody knows.
Yeah, I changed the profile picture.
Yeah, I change it once a year. Hey guys,
what's up?
I'm still alive. But yeah, so that happened, and it was really funny when we found out. So like, yeah, so like, it was honestly the best thing ever because, as everybody knows, I'm obsessed with the holidays, and so I got like I got a really extended holiday season that year.
I remember that.
I was so excited. All I did was bake and like do Christmassy things, and I was just so happy. And I threw a holiday party, and
I remember that. That was awesome.
Like, it was just so fun. I had so much free time because I'm doing homework around Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I was like, wow, I don't have to do anything. I can just chill, and it was great. But I also like, basically what happened was like Ella and I were both home. Like, it was like during Christmas break time. Like, everybody else was home too.
This is so funny.
And God, I forget. I think you texted me and you were like, hey, we hadn't talked to each other in a while. And she was like, hey, how are you? Like, let's get together. And I was like, yeah, let's get together.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was during Thanksgiving. This is why. She texted me on like Saturday. It was like Saturday or Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend. And I was like, I was like, yeah, let's get together like soon. I'm like, when are you going back? And she was like, like, I was like, are you going back to school on Sunday? Because, you know, it's like Thanksgiving weekend. She's like, no. I'm like, when are you going back? And she's like, I'm not. And I was like, LOL, me neither.
That was your exact. Yeah. I remember. Oh my God.
And then we both, and then I was like, I think we have a lot to talk about. And she's like, yeah. And then we like met up and we both discovered that we both had taken the quarter off. And like, I wish I had known that earlier.
Yeah, I wish I had too. Oh my gosh.
But like, it was really funny how it happened.
Yeah.
And then we both just like bonded over like how everybody was being so judgmental and how like, oh my God, we're like the last people we would ever like, if you asked us in high school, we're like the last people you'd ever expect to like take a quarter off in college. Like, that's such a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like,
all I did was school.
All we do is school, like volleyball, no breaks, no failure. Volleyball school was our lives.
School.
Like, and more school. You know, just like, so that was funny. Okay. Yeah. Then let's talk about going back the next quarter. So like, were you always like, did you have any time period where you're like, I might take another quarter off, or was it always just like, no, I'm going back this quarter?
It was, I'm going back this quarter because my parents made it that way. They wouldn't even really discuss transferring with me. And it was kind of like, I don't want to burden them any further, so I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
But that's just, that's what I had to do.
What was it like when you went back for you? Like, did you feel weird? Like, was it hard to get back into like school?
Yes. It was super weird. Luckily I moved in with people from my old dorm, so I knew everyone and they were like family. So that was super, super nice. Like, I had my family, my school family there with me through the transition, but I forgot how to do work, honestly. I was telling Christina this earlier, like, I was in 4 really hard GE classes, like econ, bio, just not doing what I was supposed to, not studying, and thinking I was studying. Like, I would be at the library.
You forget how to do school.
You forget how to, like, I would I would go to the library just to justify in my mind that I had studied, so that I could sit in front of the Scantron and fill in stuff and be like, oh, I know this because I studied a little bit. Like, I looked at the book. Like, I should get this. And I did awful. Yeah.
No. Oh, this was another thing I forgot to bring up. Like, one of the reasons why I was so like, I can't take a quarter off. I was just like, I don't want to do it, was because I felt like, I was like, if I take a quarter off, I'm never going to be able to go back, because it's like the kind of thing where it's just like, I hated it so much. Like, I was like, once I know what it's like to like have some freedom, I will not have the motivation. I just like won't be able to do it. Like, I'm better off just trucking through and just being like, just, you know, it's just that kind of thing where you're just like miserable in something. It's just like, just look down, one foot in front of the other. Don't just like do it.
Keep swimming.
Yeah, just keep doing it. And, I was like, if I like stop, if I break this like momentum, I'm never gonna be able to. It's like being in prison, I guess. Say you have like a 4-year sentence, right? It's like super drawing. You have a 4-year sentence, true, though. And it's like, would you rather have a week where you like leave and get a taste of freedom and then you have to walk back in there, or would you rather just be like, let me just push through and finish do the whole thing at once, so that I don't get that taste and know what it's like, and then like, because then when you walk back into the prison, it's twice as bad because you remember how great it was outside. Does that make sense?
It does. No, it really does.
Like, that's literally how I felt.
Yeah.
And
no, it is. It's like that.
That's honestly what happened to me. Yeah. When I went back, I was like, fuck.
And you know what people say about taking a quarter off? Everyone's like, stay in school, because if you stop, you will not go back. Yeah. They just are adamant, stay in school. All my coworkers, but they're making so much money not being in school. So I'm like, thanks for the advice.
Well, no, and that's what happened is like, when I took the quarter off, I really found myself. I really figured out what I was passionate about. I just realized so much. I figured out what I wanted to do with my life. I changed completely. And then I went back to school and I was like, I thought this was bullshit before. This is complete bullshit. Like,
same.
I was like, I literally cannot sit here and learn about fucking history of Mesopotamia for one more minute. Like, this is a waste of my life. Now that I know what it's like to do something that I feel like is actually productive, I felt like I was just wasting my life away now that I was back in school. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
It was even harder. Like, so that happened. And I forgot how to do school.
History of Mesopotamia.
Yeah, no, all my friends know. I was like, how do you study? I was like, I literally don't remember how to do this. Like,
no, I know. That's such a thing. Yeah. That's you get out of it for a second, you forget.
And it was just even worse because it's like you exit the bubble. You exit the bubble and then you realize there's real life, and then they're trying to get you back in the bubble, and you're like, I don't want to be in this bubble where everybody's problems are so stupid. Yeah. Your problems are, did Joey hook up with Susie, and oh my god, Sarah wore the same dress as me, and oh my god, like, I didn't get to be president of my sorority, and like, I'm just like, shut up, like,
for real,
like, I almost died, guys. Like, get over yourselves. Like, ditto. Like, come on. But yeah, it was really weird, and so I don't know, and I also was just mad. So then I was still mad because I was like, I was so happy that I took the quarter off because it was so great and I needed it. But I was also mad because I was like, in my head, when I finally was like, I'm taking this quarter off, I was like, if I take this quarter off, I have to have my health problems solved by the end of this quarter. Like, if that's my only task, I have that. I put that in my head. Like, I did that to myself, which is so unfair because I don't have control over. I didn't have control over what was happening in my stomach. Like, obviously, if I had control over it, that wouldn't have like happened. Like, and so winter quarter rolled around and I was going back to school and I still hadn't figured out my stomach. It was still having, and I was like, well, that was a fucking waste. That's how I felt. At first. And so it was really hard because then I felt like a double failure. I was like, wow, I took a quarter off and I didn't figure out my health issues. Which is my one thing that I had to do that time. Even though I tried I was going to doctors all the time.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't like I was just sitting around. Like, from 8 to 5 when doctors' offices were open, that's where I was.
Totally.
And so, but then I don't know how long after.
It's such an impersonal life, honestly. People asking such personal questions to you on the most impersonal level.
You're so right.
So
I didn't think about that.
It's really gross after a while.
No, you're right. But then I realized.
Have you noticed? Okay, side note, super fast. Have you noticed that doctors' offices' tissue boxes are always super low? I have this conspiracy that they only fill it up to a certain amount so that you can't just like take a bunch and like cry.
It's because everybody's always taking a butt.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So they keep it low for a reason.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. No, but then I don't know at what point it was. I feel like maybe No, it was like a few weeks in a winter quarter. I was like, wow, I'm really glad I did that. And I want to run around and scream from the rooftop. If you want to take a quarter off, you should.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone who's like struggling with that?
I would talk to people that care about you. And I mean, it's a personal decision, but that really helps with me. Talk to people that care about you and just be like, hey, like I've been really struggling with stuff right now. I was just wondering what you think, like if it would be good for me to take a quarter off. And just listen to people who care about you because they want to see you succeed. And if people don't want to see you do well, then they're not the people you should be listening to, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, some people, but yeah, no, but like, some people don't want the best for you. Let's be real. Yeah, okay. Don't ask those people.
That's what yes, yeah.
Like, no, I don't even like that though, because like, I don't think you should ask other people. I wish that I had the strength to just listen to myself because I knew, I knew in my heart that I needed to take the quarter off, but I wanted just somebody else to make me do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want the like blame. Like I wanted to be able to blame somebody, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
I did too.
I'm
not gonna lie, I definitely did.
Yeah.
Throw the blame card.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to blame somebody in case it didn't pay off. I didn't want to take the responsibility of being like, yeah, I decided to take the quarter off and like I regret it.
Yeah.
Cuz then if you can blame somebody, you can be like I don't regret it cuz like I didn't have a choice.
Mhm.
You know? Which is like really fucked up.
Yeah. That's what I did.
Yeah.
It felt good at the time, but then it became my choice because I did the best I could with it. Yeah, okay, that's really the thing. Okay, you can decide to do it, but take advantage of that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, have a goal. Christina is so smart to do that. Like, I'm going to take care of my health issues before I go back. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what you're there for.
Yeah, and then you took your like, you did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you got a job and you took care of what was going on and like...
Done.
That's the problem is like you can't if you're gonna take a quarter off, like if you're gonna take time off of anything, you can't just sit on the couch and cry.
Yeah, like there's a difference between giving yourself like a break in the day and then like, you know, Netflixing for 10 weeks.
Yeah, and like not trying like
and like your one outing is like eating with your family.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You can't do
just
that.
Giving up because then you have to progress in some way.
Yeah.
You know, like at least personally, like we both were saying how like we really like learned a lot about ourselves. Like that is so valuable, and I don't think I would have been able to do that without that time off.
Yeah, totally wouldn't have.
Like,
I would love to see where I'd be. I would be not good.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like,
yeah,
I can't imagine.
I can't either.
Like I don't know.
I have no idea. Zero idea.
Yeah. I'm
so glad I don't have to think about that.
It's so funny, like if it still doesn't like help you feel better about if you are in a situation where you need to take time off. Like, I mean, okay, like honestly, looking back, like I forget that happened, and everybody else forgets that happened. You know, like I forget that I was not in school for a quarter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I do too.
It's not like it's some big thing that's always like on my mind. Like. It doesn't really matter. Like no one cares. And I totally forgot about it because now I'm doing 5 million other things.
Yeah.
So it's just like during that time when it's awkward, and like you just have to remember that you don't owe
anybody an explanation. It's a rule of life, honestly.
Yeah. Seriously, about anything.
Yeah, like, nothing.
But you have to just do what's like. What will help you?
Focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Care about only yourself. Be as selfish as possible.
Yeah, exactly. But like in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way, yeah.
Like, just take care of yourself. It kills me. There's just so much pressure on everybody, I feel like.
Yeah. Especially right now.
Yeah. And taking a quarter off does not mean you're stupid.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're Sally, but
yeah, it sometimes means you're smarter because you know when to take a step back.
Yeah.
Which is, it's hard. Honestly, like I'm now, like looking back, like I'm honestly really proud of the fact that I did that. I think that
I am too.
Takes more. Yeah. Right. Like I think that takes more courage than like
trudging through.
Yeah. I think it does because not many people are willing to admit I can't handle this right now.
Totally.
You know? And like neither of us would have been able to pull it together if we hadn't done that.
Yeah, no, I really wouldn't have.
Like
would not have been good.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
And I learned not to give a shit what anybody else thought. I learned who my real friends were.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really learned not to give a shit whatever. And definitely
didn't
learned
care.
how pathetic a lot of these moms are. What does it do with moms?
Don't know, but
like, what does it do with moms?
They
like,
just get Starbucks and gossip and play tennis and
I'm like, don't you have more important things to do? Like,
no, they really don't.
I'm like confused. Actually, like it's all the moms that are gossiping. Like I was more annoyed with moms than like the people my age.
I was too.
And moms of people who I wasn't even friends with.
This community, oh my god.
Is it just our community? No, I think it's everywhere, right?
Yeah, I think it's everywhere.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's just a thing.
Yeah, it's the mom.
Also,
moms.
Okay, I actually got some hurt from my older relatives, my grandparents, that generation that just like has to keep everything under the rug, like doesn't want to like admit that anything is wrong. And that's where I got like most of my insecurities was like people in my own family, my grandparents just refused to admit I was taking a quarter off. Like it was just not.
That's so
it was
frustrating.
Weird. It was so bizarre.
It just like makes you feel worse. And I'm like, well, why can they not admit that? What's so hard about that? I don't get it.
And if people are like that, you just have to remember it's 100% their problem, and they have something wrong with them right now. They're the ones like struggling with something right now.
Because really thinking about it, like, why does that bother them?
Yeah.
And
really.
You know what else I realized talking to other kids my age, just like people who would be mean to me. I also realized some people were honestly jealous. People were jealous that that I took time off and that I had become okay with it and that I was having the time of my life. And I wasn't really having the time of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I was like very sick, but I also was like, I was a lot happier because I was trying to enjoy myself when I could. But yeah, I realized like a lot of people were, and a lot of people like, I had people come up to me after and they're just like, they asked me like, what was it like taking time off? Like, I'm really unhappy and I feel like I need to take time off, but I like don't feel like, they basically were just like, I like don't feel like I can, like I don't want people to judge me, and like it was like they honestly were like jealous that I did it, you know. And I was like, just do it. Like,
no, I totally get that,
you know.
They can't do it. They can't make that leap. Yeah. And it's they probably were looking for you to be the one that was like, oh, do it. Yeah.
No, they were literally like, well, I was like, I mean, if they were like, well, when I heard you took time off, like maybe it's okay for me to. And I was like, wow.
Thanks.
I don't know how I feel about that standard, but yes, even Christina Rice can
take some time off. Did you ever sleep in high school?
No. Did I?
We had like 5 a.m. morning practices sometimes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Christina would come in and she's like, honestly guys, I've been doing a push all night.
I didn't even take a push.
I've been doing
I took all the other APs though, but I treated regular US history like it was a push because I'm that kind of person. No, I would literally I'd either show up at 5 a.m. practice and I'd be like, I have not slept at all tonight, guys. Like I just like I pulled an all-nighter, go straight to practice, or I would call Chris Crater at like 4:30 in the morning and be like, hey Chris, I'm like still doing homework and we have practice in half an hour and I'd rather go to sleep from 5 to 7 a.m. instead of practice, so like I'm not coming.
Yeah,
and he'd be like, okay, go to sleep. He like wouldn't even argue with me. He didn't even care. And I was like, yeah, I'm not coming. It didn't really matter. I like didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't play senior year.
Oh my God,
He hated
Chris. Traitor.
but yeah, that was good times. And I lived off 5-hour energies. Do you remember that? Do you remember this? That I had literally a stock of 5-hour energies.
That was so weird.
It would be in your locker.
It would be in your little cup holder in your car.
Oh,
I just remember them sitting there.
Oh God, I can't. I'm surprised I didn't die. Those are so unhealthy. Those are disgusting.
Are they really?
Yeah. And look at me now. I like won't even put like.
Oh my God, I know. I can't.
Cane sugar in my body.
McDonald's 5-hour energy.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a fun.
The days.
Fun transformation. Okay, well, yeah, that was pretty. I mean, I think I covered everything I wanted to say about that.
Yeah,
but
I think I did too.
I just like don't think people talk about that enough, and like it's okay to take time off, and you don't have to be trapped. If you're not happy, then like do something. Like you need to do something, and you don't need a health excuse. You also don't need a health excuse to take time off if you don't like school, and you just need some time to like collect yourself and readjust, and like your parents are supportive of like you are able to. I think you should do it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You don't need an excuse other than like I need this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you have any other closing thoughts?
No, I think we covered it. I would say you can't make the change in your life unless you do something.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. So stop thinking about it or sitting around.
Yeah. Amen. Drops the mic.
Done.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you were willing to talk about it with me.
Pretty cool.
So fun catching up over here. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, please leave a rating and review on iTunes and Stitcher. And make sure you subscribe if you want to get notified when we upload new episodes, which is every Monday. It's totally free to subscribe if you didn't know that. It just helps show us support. And yeah, if you want us to talk about something specifically, make sure you send it in to actuallyadultish.com or email us at actuallyadultish@gmail.com. And we will talk to you again next week. Bye.